to my channel. So very quickly, let's talk about how to accurately set your stop loss. A lot of people make the mistake of just using one constant lot size throughout all their trades, irrespective of what it means or the effect it has on their equity, on their capital. Okay, you see somebody they will just say, okay, I use 0.5 lots, and now if they have two different trades that have two different amounts of stop loss pips, you find out that in one account or in one trade they lose more than they anticipated. Okay, so which is what we are trying to avoid. The essence of today's exercise is just so that for every single trade that you take, you know exactly how much you are risking in actual value, in actual dollars, in actual monetary terms. Okay, so it's not just a matter of throwing numbers around. We want to know actually what is the effect of a trade on our trading equity in case it goes south, in case it doesn't go in our favor. So let's assume that I have marked out this zone that I want to buy from on GBP USD 30 minutes time frame. So let's say I'm expecting that price comes down to this zone right here. So let me quickly use the long position tool so that you know exactly where I am referring to. So let's say I want to take my profit here, and my stop loss, I want to put my stop loss right here. Okay, so I'm just extending it here so that my stop loss has some breathing room. Okay, so it's not enough to just say my stop loss is 10 pips, 20 pips. What exactly, how does it reflect in your equity? How does it reflect in your trading capital? Okay, so it means that for every single trade I want to take, I must do this little exercise, this short exercise, before I even go over to my trade execution app to place that trade. Okay, because I want for every single, I want my psychology to be intact. I don't want to be all shaky when I'm about to place my trade, because I'm aware of what I'm about to, or I'm aware of what I'm risking, just in case the trade goes south. I am comfortable with that amount of risk, right? So let's say on this trade I only want to be risking $50. For instance, I want to be risking $50, right? Or I want to be risking $50 across all my trade, because I'm trying to, of course, I'm trying to apply money management here. So in this trade, okay, I won't just go over and just pick any lot size on my trade execution app. I want to be exactly sure that my stop loss is right here, 31 or 31.9 pips, which would reflect as $50 on my trade, on my capital. Okay, so enough of the talk. Let me just quickly show you what I mean. So right here I'm on my back testing tool. Right here I'm using TradingView. Okay, so I'm just going to be heading over to, there are so many pips calculators sites, by the way. There's so many. This one is CBFX. There are so many good ones out there, so I'll just be using this one. They all have the same function, so it doesn't really matter. As long as it's a good one, it's okay. Okay, so remember I am on GBP USD. Remember to always change this. If it is not on the pair that you want, you can always change it. So it is right here, it's at the right place, GBP USD. Now according to my long position tool, my stop loss is 31.9 pips. You can see it right here, down here, 31.9 pips. Okay, so let's just round that off. Let that be 32 pips. This is an instance, remember. So I'm just going to be telling this calculator that my stop loss, the amount of pips of my stop loss is 32. Okay, and then I want you to help me calculate how the lot size I should use that would equate to $50 risk. I hope it makes sense. I want this calculator, after inputting all my figures, I want this calculator to help me determine what lot size I will use, given that I am only willing to risk $50 in this trade or on this trade. Okay, so I'm just going to be doing that. Let me use 0.5 and let's see what that is going to mean. Is $160 way too much? So let me go back and do that. 0.03 and calculate. 9 is too low, so I should maybe do 0. Okay, we're getting there. 0. I think it should maybe 0.15 or so should cut it. Okay, so we are close. Let's say 0.16. Okay, so it's either I use, if I'm okay with 51.20 cents, $51.20, if I'm okay with that, fine. Or if I do not want it to even exceed $50 at all, maybe I'll just stick with 0.15 and that will be it. Okay, it should amount to 40. You can see it's right here, $48. So if I'm okay with $48, then I know that yes, on my trade execution tool, $32 is going to mean 32 pips rather, sorry, 32 pips is going to equate to $48 risk if I go by this lot size of 0.15. So that's what I'm going to be, this is what I'm going to be using as my my lot size in my trade execution. So let me quickly do that now for 32 pips, right? So it means that if my stop loss, if the amount of my stop loss on that trade, let's say it is lower than that, it's lower than 32 pips, all I have to just do is just change this 32 to the number, to the amount of pips that my stop loss took for that trade. So each trade would have its own, because all trades are not the same. A trade you may find out that in a trade your stop loss may just be 10 pips, in another trade it may just be 15 pips, in another trade it may just be 30 pips, in another trade it may just whatever. Just ensure that you are aware of the amount of pips. You go over to your pips calculator, put the figures in and let it decide for you, let it determine how much you're going to, the actual figure, that the actual lot size that you're going to use, given that you are only willing to risk a certain amount of dollars from your, or a certain amount of money from your trading capital. Okay, so let us go over to my trade execution tool. So I'm using MT4 right here. Of course, like I always say, you can use any trade execution tool that you are comfortable using. So I'm just going to be looking for GBP USD. Remember, always ensure that you change the currency so that you know that you are working with the exact currency pair that you are working with the exact security. It may not be a currency pair, it may just be, even if it is stocks, crypto, whatever. All right, so now according to my, this is 32 pips for 0.15 lot size. So that's what I want to be changing here, 0.15 lot size. Okay, and then I'm going ahead to look for my okay, so I want to, so this trade hasn't come to me yet. Okay, it hasn't come to me yet, so I think it's just, I'm just going to be setting a buy limit order. Okay, just going to be setting a buy limit order, meaning I want price to come down, pick me, and then continue going up. So the figures I will be working with, I made another video on how to set buy limit, sell limit, and so on and so forth. I will link that on the description of this video and maybe at the end of this video. So just look around, you find it somewhere. But that's not the essence of, that's not the, but that's not the reason for this video. Let's get right to what we're doing. So I want to look, my entry would be at 1.32461. So my entry 1.32461. My stop loss, I always like to set my stop loss and TP immediately. I do not want to wait, or I don't want any surprises. I do not want any surprises at all. So my stop loss right here is 1.32. I'm reading this number right here, 1.32138. 1.32138. okay. So according to this, I'm using like almost like a 1 to 3 risks to reward ratio. So since I'm risking $48, I should be expecting something around maybe $130 something, $130 and above, okay, as my take profit. Okay, that I'm just trying to let you know what it implies. If my stop loss is, if I'm risking $48 and I'm using a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 3, I'm expecting $130 at least if this trade goes in my favor. Okay, so take profit is at 1.33408. 1.33408. Did I get that right? 334. Yeah. 1.33408, and I will just be placing my order here, and that is it. Pretty simple, pretty easy. So in this case, I would not have shaky hands or shaky feet. I won't be scared whenever I place a trade, because I see a lot of traders, they place their trade and they can't sleep, they can't eat, they can't function properly because they are trading. That's not how it's supposed to be. If you are comfortable with a particular amount that you want to risk, all you have to do is just ensure that you know that this is the exact number, right? The problem lies when you do not know the exact figure that trade is going to take away from you. If it doesn't go in your favor, you begin to be afraid. Okay, so ensure that you always understand what your trade implies, what the implication of that trade you're taking on your trading capital, on your trading equity, and then it becomes very easy. You'll be sane, you'll be okay, your psychology will not be messed up while your trade is on. Okay, you can just set this and go about your day like you're not even trading. You come back, if it hits your TP, fine. If it hits your stop loss, fine. You don't ever lose anything in the market. You either learn or you earn. Okay, if you take a loss, you have to go back and learn from your mistake and see why you lost that trade, or maybe the market is just doing its thing. If your trade hit TP, all is well and good, right? So if you got value from this video, if this video has helped you at all in any way, please, you know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on post notification as a way to encourage us so that we can have more of this sort of videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.